Hey everybody, I'm going to do a little something different with this show. I will be talking audio through my recorder, and I'll go visit places up in the White Mountains and talk about them and take pictures of the areas. And so you can see what I'm talking about, and actually I'm not sure how it's going to work out. I got this idea from gamers who would play a game and they would talk over the game. They would either talk about the game or they'd talk about something else. So I figured I'd try this. Hope you enjoy this little experiment. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Well, I got up to Lincoln, New Hampshire, got some water, a little package of donuts, and I was thinking of doing a hike. I was looking at I have a book about different trails in the White Mountains area. It's actually quite a bit of trails. This book was put out by the Appalachian Mountain Club, and it's entitled AMC's Best Day Hikes in the White Mountains. The author is Robert N. Bushbaum. You spell that Buchsbaum. Pretty thick book. I was going to do some trails along the Kangamangas, but the way the sky looks, it looks like it could rain at any moment. I will probably I'll probably just do like a stop at different scenic places and take a couple snapshots and maybe talk about that area. I think I'll do that. Okay, continuing on my trek. Okay, now I was going to go to Lincoln Woods. Lincoln Woods, that's like when you see Hancock Campground. That's just that name. I don't know, just a weird name. But anyways, when you see Hancock Campground, the next one is Lincoln Woods. Now, one thing with Lincoln Woods, that place is always packed. It's a good hike. It's a nice, easy hike. And at the end of the hike, you can see two waterfalls at the end of the hike. And the whole hike, it's kind of like a historic hike of when they used to harvest the trees in this area, because at one point the whole White Mountain National Forest was clear cut, and if you could see it now, it's really come back. So it's like it's an example of no matter what humans can do to this planet, okay, the earth will always heal itself. But that's another subject, which I don't know. Maybe I'll get to a little bit later. But right after Lincoln Woods, there's the Discovery Trail. Yeah, there's the Discovery Trail. I've mentioned that before. I'm not sure if I put up that video. I have to see if I put up that video about the Discovery Trail. And then afterwards, it's Otter Rocks. Not as many people here, so I've parked. I'm going to go take a few snapshots. I did go and take a couple of pictures around Otter Rocks, and when you see the picture of the brook, you see that there's like a lot of rocks on the side. Usually those rocks are underwater, so the water level is kind of low right now. And this is more like a campground, a day use campground, and also kids. I suppose adults too, but mostly kids. You know, they have their bathing suits and they paddle along the rocks, particularly when it's low like this. I don't know if I would do that with when it's high, but it's still a good place. You know, if you just want to come camping in the White Mountains, it's a good campground to just kind of sit and meditate. There are lots more campgrounds in New Hampshire, and there's even a campground over at Sabaday Falls. So you can actually spend the day at Sabaday Falls campground over there and have a little something to eat, hike the short 15-minute trail to the actual falls, and you know, have a good time there, because the falls, they kind of go through like a gorge, like it's like the river, not the river, but the brook made a 90-degree turn, and there's a story behind that. And when you go to Sabaday Falls, you can read up on the story by reading the plaques as you walk along the trail. And it actually kind of extends the hike a little bit, and it's a good trail. I probably will do that one, like I said before. So anyways, continuing down the Kangamangas Pass. I'm at Sabaday Falls. Again, the water levels are kind of low, but you can still hear the sound of the water going through the rocks. This is probably another very popular trail and campground, because it's also a campground. At the beginning, where the parking lot is, you can turn right, and there are picnic tables there. We can camp. Also, you know, if you have a hatchback, you could probably camp in the back of your own, or have a picnic in the back of your own vehicle. Just open up the hatch, you know, and make it so that there's seating back there, you know, and maybe have a little cooler that also acts as a armrest. And you can like park to back up at any one of the lookouts that they have on the Kangamangas Pass or anywhere, and just kind of open up your hatch, look out at the awe-inspiring beauty, and have a little picnic. But I think Sabaday Falls is probably the most popular because of the falls. They're really quite spectacular. I haven't gotten up there, even though that the water is low. There's probably still a good show up there at the falls. So I shall continue along the path. That sound is the falls. And I was right, even though that the water level is low, you can still get a pretty good show of the falls. Some good pictures that I will take. I don't know what it is about, you know, these falls and these places where they have waterfalls and rock and gorges, which were created like thousands of years ago during the when the last glacier was melting. There's just something about the water, the rock, It's very meditative. I think a lot of people like to see the falls. They like waterfalls. I've written a poem about that in the past. Maybe I'll post it again. And I'm standing here looking at the rock ledge above the falls, where you see like a lonely tree on one little edge just poking up through. It's like another little baby tree that's starting through another, not even a ledge, a crack, going through the crack. And there's plants and trees growing out of the rock. And if you want to know why, you can take a look at my Lost River video. It's beautiful. I'm going to take a couple pictures. I hope you enjoy. Sabadell Falls has a lot of history, carving the path towards Sabadell Falls so people can enjoy it, and also why the falls turn so sharply. One of the plaques here says a geological event called a fault, which occurred a long time ago at this site, fractured the basalt dike, shifting the resulting two sections apart along the fault line. And they say that's why the falls takes a sharp turn here, as you'll see in some of the pictures that I've taken with this. There's like this sharp turn. It's still quite spectacular. And when you're looking down from the top of the falls to the bottom, it's actually quite spectacular too. Nature is indeed awesome. There's definitely nothing man can do to hurt the earth, because the earth has been here for a long time and it knows how to heal itself from past experience. We keep forgetting that the earth is alive, that it knows what it needs. It's a lesson that we all could learn from the earth. Continuing on. I'm sitting here on one of the rocks along the ledge of the rocky gorge, seeing the water come through the rocks, making little falls, smelling the freshness of the water as it goes over the falls, continues down the gorge. In little spots where there is no activity of the water going through, you can actually see all the way to the bottom of the gorge. I mean, it doesn't look that deep, but I wouldn't want to go swimming here anyways, even though there were some people earlier up as I was walking in, swimming just above the gorge. I don't think they're supposed to do that, because there are signs saying no swimming. And that's probably because there's a lot of rocks. You know, your foot can get caught on the rock. And you can hurt yourself. I wonder if there's any brook trout in this. But there are picnic tables around. And this is actually a nice area. Better than Arethusa Falls, because people do the same thing at Arethusa Falls, even though it's quite a hike to get up there. But actually, the waterfall is really bigger at Arethusa Falls, so it is worth it. But here, just to sit amongst the rocks. I came up here last time with a friend and took some pictures, and I think I lost those pictures when I lost my micro SD card, so it's something to make sure you back up your pictures and files. Don't just let them sit on your phone, because stuff can happen to your phone. But yeah, there's all sorts of people sitting on the rocks, looking at the sculpture of water through the gorge when this gorge was a lot higher, when the water was a lot higher. The water's a good, there's a good amount of water coming over the rocks. I bet you springtime this area is probably a lot higher. But it's a beautiful scene. I'm just gonna kind of sit and meditate, listen to the water, watch the water as it continues going downstream, and just kind of relax for a bit. It's been a cool day today. Fluctuated between 70 and 65. No humidity. And this is the end of July. And it's like September weather. And it's really nice. People do gather. It is, I suppose you can sit here for the day, have lunch at one of the picnic tables, watch for a bit, maybe after a hike or something like that. You can come here to cool off instead of going to McDonald's. Pack your own food. Tuna fish and potato chips, that's what we used to do way back when. I'm going to meditate, take a few pictures. And people behind me just like to keep talking loud here, so I'm just going to end it here and continuing down the road. I'm at a quiet spot by the falls. Warm breeze goes through the trees. It's a little pond. It's called Falls Pond. And they even have like a little sign talking about the pond community. So it's a good place to teach children about nature and the community of a pond. Dark clouds, kind of dark clouds, sky, the wind makes ripples in the pond, causing little wave-like motions, almost makes it look like the light is dancing. It's definitely quiet here. Last time I was here, I got a good picture, which I think I lost when I lost my SD card. It looked like there was a shaft of light coming down to the to the pond. Don't see the shafts of light like I did before, but yeah, make sure you back up those photos from your phone, because you never know. But it is quiet. The wind sound through the trees, the rustling of the leaves. It's a beautiful sight. People have been coming up here to the White Mountains since the 19th century, and they still continue to come and will continue to come, because we all need bits of nature every once in a while to remind us of real life. Continuing on. If you like this piece, you can check out more of my writings over at robertg.blogspot.com. Or if you want to purchase some of my books, you can go to robertgparent.blogspot.com. There you'll find the links to my Amazon books. And as always, thank you for listening. Stay creative in the magic of life. Good day.
Size matters not. Look at me. Give me my size, do you? And where you should not. For my eye is the force.